From the snowiest to the hottest and more. We will be looking at the stories behind the worst weather games in NFL history, like when LeSean McCoy saved his team's season in a snowstorm. Heading into the 2017 NFL season, do you know which team had the longest active playoff drought? Not the Jets, not even the Browns. It was the Buffalo Bills with a 17-year-long drought. Therefore, it is a huge deal that 13 weeks into the season, they are only one game behind a playoff spot. A large reason for their success is LeSean McCoy. With 841 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns, LeSean McCoy is extremely quick, astonishingly shifty, and the engine to this Bills offense. They are 5-0 when he has 20 rushing attempts or more in a game. He is one of the best backs in the league. Adding to that, the Bills have a quality starting quarterback in Tyrod Taylor and a strong defense. Now, heading into week 14, their destiny is in their hands. If they win 3 out of their next 4 games, they can easily sneak into the playoffs. Luckily, 3 of their next 4 opponents have a losing record, starting with the Colts. However, their dreams might be snowed on. Heading into the game, it has snowed 16 inches, and snow is still falling. To make matters even worse, Tyrod Taylor injured his knee in the previous game. Starting is Nathan Peterman, who has one career start where he threw 5 interceptions. Adding to that, the Colts defense is on fire. They haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher in their last 5 games. And on offense, they have an experienced Jacoby Brissett and an absolute tank in Frank Gore. The Colts are 3-9, but this can easily be a game they can snag from the Bills. LeSean McCoy will have to have a great game to keep the Bills' playoff hopes alive. So in a snowy tundra, can LeSean McCoy and the Bills survive the storm? LeSean McCoy dominated. He had 156 rushing yards and a touchdown in the snow. However, he had more than just a great performance. This is LeSean McCoy's rushing yards from each game this season. This game is number 1. In over a foot of snow, he had his best performance of the season. The Bills finished their campaign 9-7 and snapped their 17-year-long playoff drought. LeSean McCoy had a career game, although Troy Aikman had a career low moment in some unbearable heat. Troy Aikman dominated in the 1990s like no other player had ever done before in NFL history. This is the most wins by a quarterback in the 90s. There are a lot of Hall of Famers here, but more victorious than all of these players, Troy Aikman. This is actually the most wins by a quarterback in a decade to this point in NFL history. So going into the 2000s, his first test is in week 1 against the Philadelphia Eagles. However, this isn't any normal game. It is 109 degrees, the hottest game in NFL history. The turf field feels like 130 degrees. With that, the Cowboys are the home team and are very used to the warm weather. Plus, Troy Aikman has his dominant offense returning with the likes of Emmitt Smith and a very strong defense. That being said, the Eagles have a lot of questions going into this game. Second-year head coach Andy Andy Reid struggled in 1999, going 5-11. They finished last in the division. However, this year, their defense is looking to compete, led by Brian Dawkins and Troy Vincent, star defensive backs, Jeremiah Trotter, a great linebacker, Corey Simon and Hugh Douglas, two new pass rushers. The Eagles want to start this season out right, although going into this game, they have a secret weapon to help beat the Heat.
Now the Eagles have also brought along pickle juice. That's right, it's just off the supermarket shelf pickle juice.
Pickle juice is known for helping with cramps and keeping players energized in steaming hot weather. On the other sideline, Troy Aikman is not worried. He was told the middle of the field is 175 degrees. He replied, "Just tell me what the temperature is in the end zone." Finally, on the hottest day in NFL history, how does Troy Aikman do against this unproven Eagles team? After just 4 drives, he was forced to leave the game for a concussion. He got absolutely destroyed in the game, sacked 4 times, completing 0 passes and throwing a pick 6. The Eagles won 41-14. And to show just how bad this game was, this is Troy Aikman's top 10 worst games in his career. Keep in mind, he played a total of 165 games. This game is the absolute worst. With the help of some pickle juice, the Eagles handed Troy Aikman his worst loss on the hottest day in NFL history. Troy Aikman should look into some pickle juice, although the Bears could have not been prepared for the windiest day in NFL history. It is a beautiful day in the Windy City on November 13th, 2005. A great day to watch the Bears take on the 49ers. It is a cool 51 degrees, sun outshining, and winds that are 44 miles per hour, the windiest game in NFL history. The Bears are in really rough shape for this game. They are 6-2 and have the number 1 ranked defense. However, on offense, Kyle Orton is the 30th ranked quarterback in the league. Then their starting running back Thomas Jones, who is averaging nearly 100 yards a game, is injured. On the other hand, the 49ers are not well off, with the 29th ranked offense and the worst defense in the league. Even on a normal day without rapid winds, they are a tough team to watch. Jumping into the game, these two teams did not disappoint. After some failed drives, the Bears found their way in field goal range, attempting to get the lead. Just a bit far right. Then on the 49ers' next drive, they are forced to punt. The ball flying in the wind, Bobby Wade fumbled. This put the 49ers in field goal range. Surprisingly, Joe Nedney nailed it from 30 yards out. The Bears responded, driving down the field and getting into field goal range. However, the wind is just too much. The 49ers get the ball, but are forced to punt. Bobby Wade, trying to return it, he fumbled again. To this point in the game, the 49ers have 0 passing yards and have only gotten into field goal range from 2 punt fumbles. Now with 3 seconds left in the second quarter, they have the opportunity to jump out to a 6-0 lead, and they get the ball to start the second half. From 52 yards out, Joe Nedney launches it. The longest return in NFL history, Nathan Vasher, with the help of the wind, took the ball to the house. This play took the wind out of the 49ers' sails. Any momentum that they had was shattered. The Bears won the game 17-9. And if we look at the stats from this game, it seems almost made up. Both teams combined for a net passing yards of 95, and they fumbled the ball 8 times. The wind made it so difficult for both teams. Watching that game was simply fun, although the teams in the wettest game had less fun. On October 4th, 1998, Kansas City experienced its second worst flash flood in history. Unfortunately, it resulted in lives lost and over $50 million in property damage. Although on that very same day, the Kansas City Chiefs had a game against the Seattle Seahawks at 8:20 p.m. The Chiefs are a very well-rounded team heading into this matchup. They are 3-1 with an offense and defense that rank amongst the best in the league. They are led by an experienced quarterback in Rich Gannon. Although the Seahawks are the best team in the league so far this season, with Hall of Fame caliber quarterback Warren Moon, the Seahawks have the 5th best offense, 2nd best defense, and are tied for 1st in point differential. However, with rain pouring down and a tornado watch in effect, these two teams went to battle. Finally, after lightning struck in the area, the refs paused the game midway through the second quarter. If we look at the stats from the Flood Bowl, the Seahawks had trouble moving the ball with 1.88 yards per carry and 0 passing yards, although they had 1 fumble and still scored a field goal. The Chiefs, on the other hand, moved the ball a lot better, however coughed up 3 fumbles. Still, they managed to get on the scoreboard. This Kansas City Flood Bowl was an absolute mess. However, the Chiefs came out the better side of it. Warren Moon, on the last play before the break, cracked his rib. He was put out for the game. This is a fatal blow for the Seahawks. After waiting 54 minutes, the game resumed and the Chiefs came out firing. Rich Gannon went 10 for 15 and scored 2 touchdowns. The Seahawks without Warren Moon could not get anything going on offense. The Chiefs won 17-6. The Elements took down the Seahawks, similar to what happened to the Eagles during a playoff game. NFL teams have a win percentage of 57% when playing at home. However, the Bears' home field advantage guaranteed them a win in the divisional round of the 1988 playoffs, when the Eagles traveled to Soldier Field to take on the Bears. Heading into this matchup, the Bears are a powerhouse. This is the top 10 defenses in the NFL. The Bears rank number 1, allowing only 13.4 points per game. Then on the other side of the ball, they have the 3rd ranked rushing offense. This Bears team is a brick wall. The Eagles, on the other hand, are the new team on the block, exploding onto the scene. For what they lack in experience, they make up for in flash, with Randall Cunningham, a MVP candidate, Chris Carter, a promising receiver, and Keith Jackson, an all-pro tight end. This Eagles team can put up a lot of points and can do it fast. Jumping into the game, the Bears started out strong to a 7-0 lead, but the Eagles returned the favor, going all the way down to the red zone and missing the field goal. After their defense gets the ball back, the Eagles drive down again and get into the end zone, but a flag calls back the touchdown. Then they get into the end zone again, but a flag calls it back again, then forced to settle for a field goal. Luckily, their defense makes another play. The Eagles then drive downfield and drop a wide open touchdown, settling for a field goal again. The Bears punish the Eagles for their mistake with another touchdown. Despite being the better team, the Eagles' inexperience has costed them. The Bears somehow have a very fragile lead. It is still in the second quarter though. Plenty of time. However, just like a flip of a switch, a mysterious fog rolls in from the lake. Fans are no longer able to see the field. The visibility is down to just 20 feet. The refs decided the game must go on. The Bears have to hold on to this lead. The Bears, with the help of their home field advantage, won the game 20-12. Despite the Eagles outgaining the Bears 430-341, having less turnovers and more time of possession, the fog was too much for them to mount a comeback. Randall Cunningham threw 3 interceptions in it. Everyone in the Eagles organization was confused why the game was not stopped. Still, the Bears moved on to the next round. As we have seen, no matter if it is too hot or too windy or too snowy or any element, the show must go on. And when it does, it creates iconic games. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Alright, I'll see you guys next time.